For decades, medicine has operated on a very simple assumption. Hypothyroidism causes obesity. It makes sense. Thyroid hormones, specifically T3, sets your basal metabolic rate. Basically, how many calories you burn just being you. Lower levels of thyroid hormones slow the burn. And when less burning happens, more storing happens. Aish. So, the treatment is straightforward. Give thyroid hormone. Now, the version of thyroid hormone given is T4, levothyroxine. It replaces the hormone that should be being pumped out of the thyroid gland. Thyroid problems sorted. And weight problems sorted. Well, that's the theory, and it works like a charm when the thyroid gland has become the unfortunate victim of an immune system campaign to eliminate it. But it has mixed results for many overweight peeps. The weight never really budges, even when the hormone levels look normal. Both TSH and T4 look right. They're still fat. And they feel terrible to boot. Why? A group of researchers decided to ask a very different question. What if, in some people, the obesity came first? What if the smoldering fat cells broke the thyroid? Turns out they were onto something. In this study, they took mice, fed some of them a normal diet, fed others a high-fat, high-sugar diet. The goal to make them fat fast. And 3 weeks later, they checked the thyroid function of both groups. At this point in time, the overfed mice had higher thyroid-stimulating hormone, TSH. Basically, their pituitaries were pushing the TSH button release hard. But despite all that wheeling and dealing being driven by TSH, it was already not working. Middle management was being ignored. Their T4 levels were lower. But no worries. T3 levels were normal. T4, T3, what's this? Well, T3 is actually the whistle-blowing, get yourself moving coach to the cells. T4's whistle is there, but it's all wrapped up, so it can't be easily accessed. In fact, T4 is what leaves the thyroid gland and zoots around the body. T4 is sporting an extra iodine molecule. Good for traveling, not so good for coaching. T4 parks his TBG mobile, hops off, and gets suited up for action with the help of a deiodinase enzyme. These are the enzymes that remove iodines. They act as the equipment manager, priming the coach for action. So let's go back to our thyroid story and those overeating mice. Despite the thyroid being pushed harder than ever by TSH, it was producing less. This is the definition of hypothyroidism. In this case, the problem was associated with smoldering fat cells created by chowing down on an obesogenic diet. The thyroid seemed to be succumbing to the noxious environment, but the thyroid gland did not go down without a fight. Researchers found the thyroid was indeed heeding the calls of that pushy middle manager TSH. It grew larger. It also sprouted new blood vessels. But despite all this in building more tissue, it failed to produce more hormone. The enlarged thyroid gland's T4 level remained underwhelming. More thyroid, but less thyroid hormone. Now, the researchers did have a go at unpacking the problem. They found that thyroglobulin synthesis was compromised. Now, exactly why at this stage is unclear. Thyroglobulin is the base protein. Iodine molecules are the accessories that turn thyroglobulin into a fully functional metabolic coach. And the number of iodines is reflected in the name. So T3 has 3 iodines and T4 has 4 iodines. Thyroglobulin rolls off the assembly line, dropping into the follicular lumen, where the iodines are systemically added by thyroid peroxidase. The last iodine ensures that the coach can travel safely. Team verified that iodine supplies were never an issue. They postulated that the problem with T4 production was some kind of energy crisis. Definitely, there was a jam on the factory floor. But it turned out this was only half the story. Yes, less T4 was leaving the thyroid gland in our overnourished mice, but there was also less T3 arriving inside cells. Now, to understand this, we need to walk through what happens to T4 when it arrives at individual cells. Getting that life preserver off alone is no easy task. The resident equipment manager, a deiodinase enzyme, should step in and help. The team found one set of equipment managers was not converting T4 into T3 efficiently. So instead of a sprightly, raring to go coach entering the cell, the T4 drifts inside and does nothing. The coach, without a whistle, starts taking up space. This is biology. Loafers are not welcome. This is how you end up with reverse T3. Now, there are 3 types of deiodinase enzymes. By definition, they remove iodines, but only D1 and D2 are responsible for converting T4 to T3. That is, they remove the life preserver iodine, number 4. D3, on the other hand, removes the whistle iodine. In the fat mice, the D1 version, which is primarily found in the liver, kidney, and thyroid, was rising to the occasion. But the D2 version seemed to be underperforming. So even the T4 that was being made was not becoming the T3 the cells needed. This is a double strike, and this phenomenon explains why T4 medication alone often does not solve the problem for obese hypothyroid patients. Ish. So what is the solution? Well, the researchers are thinking about solutions. Idea 1, bypass the conversion crisis and give T3 directly. Idea 2, get those D2 enzymes firing on all 4 cylinders, pharmacologically or using lifestyle. Okay, they probably weren't thinking about this as hard as I am. Actually, the idea of using lifestyle is biologically feasible. One of the places D2 enzymes are located is in brown adipose tissue, or BAT for short. And freezing your tush off can bump up BAT cell levels and thus D2 levels. It's a strategy, and, well, it's not the only one. Another option, dump the obesogenic diet and lose some of those extra pounds. Yes, I hear you. It might be hard, but it will help fix the thyroid problem. We know this because when the researchers put the obese mice back on a normal diet, they lost the weight and their T4 levels came back up. Thyroglobulin production hummed along nicely. The damage was not permanent. Creating better body chemistry corrected the disturbance. Now, this is a mouse study and mice are not humans. But human studies suggest the pattern holds. Patients with higher BMI often have more thyroid tissue and lower T4 levels. The paradigm flip, obesity can cause hypothyroidism. Biology rarely runs in one direction. That is why understanding the mechanisms matters. If this is how you like to think about your health, join me for more molecular biology stories. To get them delivered to your inbox, subscribe to my list. You'll find the link in the description below.